Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and today I got me a nice beat up, banged up, this box. Man, it had a flight coming on over here. We've got one of the new Malifaux 3rd edition master sets for Malifaux Burns Remade and Reforged. We've got Hardcore Hoffman, we've got Evil Von Schill, the Iron Heart, and the Metallurgist. I can't talk today. Lady with sparkling hands. That's what we got. Check out Hoffman. Look at him in his big old power suit. And our Metallurgist just, Jesus, I can't talk. Doing stuff. And she's got a duffel bag, and Von Schill looking like a full-on Sentai villain. Fingers crossed that everything survived intact in transit. Are there cards? Please tell me. Yes! Yes, there are. Good. Okay, that's a good sign. We'll take a look at those later. So, first off, we've got a 50, 40, and 30 millimeter size base. Hoffman with the big one. Sentai Von Schill with the 40, and the metal lady, whose name I keep garbling, on the 30. We have a single, I guess it looks like a single sprue, if you want to call it that, which I do. So here we see Von Schill's body, some wires, his jumpy runny leg, big claws, evil head. We've got our Metallurgist, God, I don't even know how I'm saying it, Gurglist. I feel like I should just stop and redo this video. This is horrible. Anyway, you can see here. She's got quite a lot of detail. Quite a few parts for just a 30 millimeter figure, whereas Hoffman has half of this all to himself, being quite large, but then again, he is wearing that exoskeleton. So not only do you build him, but you build the skeleton around him. And then, thankfully, this energy crackle is a single piece. I was afraid I'm going to have to glue that together, having flashbacks of building the Goryo and various gremlins and little Yanlo. But yeah, doesn't look too complex. Hopefully I can get this finished in an afternoon. My problem right now is I have no glue, so it might be a while between when I start this and when I finish this video, but fingers crossed I can find enough left over laying around the house somewhere and we can get this all done. And check it out. Sit tight. All right, we got everybody put together, and we're going to start with our Metallurgist, just because I can't get the name right. And honestly, probably because she ended up being my favorite piece from the box. We can lighten that up. This was definitely more what I expect when I build a Malifaux kit, in terms of obnoxiousness of parts. Lots of little bits. Lots of things that don't want to get in focus here. Come on, lady. I'm trying here. Okay, I guess she wants to stay away from the camera. Contact points were really small, but for the most part, they were fairly obvious. I'm just not 100% sure about her right hand. I had tossed the box prior to building her, which really didn't help things, but I think it's kind of in the right spot. Everything else was pretty intuitive, but I will admit I did need to go look at Wyrd's website just to double check. I'll be honest. And one of the things that really irks me about their directions for the kits on the site is that while they're there, all the parts are labeled on the sprue, but then nothing is on the actual website. Now, for her, that wasn't a big problem, but for Von Schill and his little wires everywhere, that was an issue. I have no idea if I actually put them on correctly. I really don't know. And he is absolutely on a 40 millimeter base now. Yeah, I know he kind of looks like Emerton Joe, but to me, he looks like a Sentai villain. I don't know what I'm going to do with his face. I'm very tempted to paint him with, like, blue eye makeup or something. Go all in on the 80s metal hero villain. I also wish he was a little bit more in contact with the base. That's just more of a personal preference, but that's just me. And finally, what I feel is the star of the show and the easiest one to put together, and currently missing his electricity that's supposed to attach between his hands, but it fits quite nicely, is Mr. Charles Hoffman. For the most part, everything went together pretty well, but I'll be honest, the connection points for the arms the mechanical arms, I should say. And for his mechanical feet, were kind of unclearly defined. Now, it's obvious where they're supposed to fit in terms of where they go in the body, but actually connecting them wasn't so straightforward. So it was a lot of nudging and pushing and hoping for the best, which is, in my opinion, never the way to go. But thankfully, things seem to have worked out all right. He is quite large on that 50mm base. Grabbing a couple of other random Malifaux models, and I do truly mean random. We've got a Monster Hunter, one of the fat dudes from the Explorers Guild, and what's his name, Santiago, who really shouldn't be on that size base, from the Latigo posse, but he is. So you can see, at least in terms of size, he kind of matches up with Von Schill. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure on that base. I might chop him off. I can't make up my mind. And if you wanted to really mix things up, here we have one of these, the Wastrels. I don't remember which set. And also a model from the other side fits in quite nicely. So if you wanted to go the steampunk route of just a bunch of Victorian weirdness, well, Wyrd definitely has you covered there. Grabbing a few other figures just for size's sake, if you really wanted to mix things up. If you wanted to go with Reaper stuff, there is going to be a bit of a difference. If you wanted to go, like, I don't know why you would go GW, but my first thought is Cawdor. I don't know why. Orlosh would probably be a better choice. Still, there's going to be a bit of an issue in terms of size. The Malifaux stuff airs way closer to 32mm rather than the traditional 28, but not as big as stuff like, oh, actually, you know what? Shadows of Brimstone, I take that back. Shadows of Brimstone, you look quite nice with Malifaux stuff, and I've said that in the past. Kingdom Death stuff, you might be able to fudge those sizes. And definitely, if you want to get into the 3D printing of things, I'm sure you can come up with all sorts of interesting stuff. But if you wanted to go like Conquest, which is not really the same style of figure, or with WizKids plastics, you're going to run into some issues there. I don't know why you'd have these guys hanging out with Space Marines or in some kind of inquisitorial retinue, but, you know, you do you. Overall, fun little kit. Personally, I'm looking forward to getting these guys painted. I have no idea how I'm going to really do Von Schill. I've always wanted to have a Hoffman. I've never really been interested in painting him on his own, so this is going to be a kind of a nice change for me. I did paint the Avatar, come to think of it, way back when. I think I did a video on it. I don't even know. But personally, I'm waiting for Marshall Reeves and Parker Barrows to see some new figures. And I am absolutely going to be crossing my fingers on that. But overall, nice little kit. I might actually grab a couple more of these. Definitely looking forward to seeing Malifaux Burns and reading more of the book one of these days. We'll put a link down below to Wyrd's site just in case you do end up picking one of these up and you sit there scratching your head like I did trying to figure out where everything goes. At least you'll have that option available to you. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.